We are following some breaking news this morning out of Sussex County. Fire crews are still on the scene of a fire that started after an explosion in Milton. WBOC's Sussex County Bureau Chief Evan Kosloff joins us live from the scene there in Milton. And Evan, it started in a garage.
Yeah, I'm here at Milton at the scene of a developing story. We do have a fire behind me. I'm going to jump out of the way and let you see some of the damage that this building has had because of this. I spoke to the manager. He said that he got a call about the fire just before 7 a.m. The company is Clean Delaware LLC, a septic pumping company, and there were rumors that sewage was leaking. I did speak to the manager, though. He says that that is not true. However, and fortunately, there are no injuries at this time.
Thanks, Brian. Well, NASA Wallops Island Flight Facility still on lockdown this morning.
During a scheduled launch last night, the Antares rocket exploded just 6 seconds after takeoff. WBOC's Cleo Green joins us live from Accomack County this morning. And Cleo, there were no injuries.
Well, Lacey, Jimmy, NASA officials really want to stress the fact that there were no injuries reported. In fact, everyone is accounted for. Now, the south side of Wallops Island here is on lockdown, and at daybreak today, investigators from Orbital Science will be combing through the island looking for any kind of hazardous debris. Now, take a look here. We do have video from yesterday as the takeoff was happening there. Officials from NASA want to stress the fact that there were no injuries and everyone is accounted for this morning. Now take a look here. This is video from NASA TV. Everything seemed perfect for the launch. Seconds after, at 6:22 come Tuesday night, the Antares rocket lifted off, and 6 seconds after, the rocket exploded into a massive fireball, as you can see here. Now NASA officials say a range safety officer gave the command to self-destruct. An expert from Orbital Science says this is a major disappointment, and the goal is now to figure out what happened.
Now, WBOC News This Morning, Delmarva's news leader.
Wreckage left behind after a tragic plane accident. How many people lost their lives after a jet crashed into a Maryland home?
Disbanding a local police station. Why budget cuts could also mean police cuts in Milton.
This church was burned down by two men who are now behind bars. I'm Cleo Green reporting live in Felton this morning. More on a multiple arson investigation.
Now, WBOC News This Morning, Delmarva's news leader.
No mercy from the freezing conditions. How many Americans are braving sub-zero temperatures?
A home destroyed by a fire in Sussex County. Why a family in Millsboro is safe this morning thanks to a mother's intuition.
Changes to the visitation policy at PRMC. Why anyone under 18 is prohibited from visiting patients.
Bitter cold coming, but you remember hitting 70 degrees just a couple days ago here on Delmarva? Some of us may be seeing our first dose of snow this morning. Crews currently on standby in Delaware and Maryland, ready to clear roads should that snow start to fall. WBOC's Cleo Green is live in Dorchester County this morning with information on how you can stay safe during your morning commute. First, let's check in with WBOC's Kent County Bureau Chief Mike Chesney. Joining us live in Camden this morning. Mike, the snow was supposed to start about now.
Yeah, guys, I have great news for...
Checking back in for that. Well, crews from the Maryland State Highway Administration are out and about this morning trying to keep the roads clear of ice.
Most major roads on the Maryland Eastern Shore are glazed over with a mix of snow and freezing rain. WBOC's Cleo Green joins us from Wycomico County. Good morning, Cleo.
Good morning.
So we've got lots of notifications about schools being closed and delayed. We've had a lot of reports about minor accidents.
Some accidents to report here in Wycomico County. Some vehicles have actually slid off the road. You got to be really careful this morning. The snow and freezing rain really coming down here this morning. The roads, some roads look wet, but they are very slick this morning.
Well, in Sussex County, firefighters responded to a two-vehicle accident yesterday in Seaford.
It happened on West Stein Highway in the area of Neal School Road just before 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Take a look at these pictures that were taken by the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department. According to the fire department's Facebook page, firefighters rescued at least two people that were trapped after the crash, one in each vehicle. Firefighters say the patient in the overturned vehicle and one in the second vehicle both taken out in about 20 minutes. No word yet on any injuries or the status of those involved in the crash in Sussex County.
Well, a barn went up in flames yesterday in Sussex County.
The cows were running back towards the fence.
Take a look. This is footage from Chopper 16 taken around 3:30 yesterday afternoon in Laurel. You can see the charred remains of the barn on Wooten Road. The owner says the barn housed cattle and a workshop. Now, according to the owner, nobody was injured. The state fire marshal continues to investigate this morning after that fire in Sussex County.
Now, while that fire burned in Sussex County, there was also a power outage that affected a few thousand customers in downtown Laurel.
Delmarva Power says the police station was without power along the Laurel Public Library and roughly 2,000 other customers. Many people thought it had been connected to the barn fire, but that wasn't the case. Delmarva Power says the outage was caused by a circuit issue in Sussex County. And the lights are back on this morning after some Wycomico County residents were without power yesterday. It happened around 9:30 last night. Delmarva Power reported about 3,400 customers were in the dark after a car hit a utility pole on Snow Hill Road near Toadvine Road in Salisbury. Delmarva Power says lines were brought down and crews were on the scene last night making repairs. Delmarva Power is reporting those customers now have their power back on this morning in Wycomico County.
A Minnesota teenager loses control of her car, plunges 30 feet down into a river, and survives.
Yeah, I had to really think, and I just kept calm about everything. God was watching over me that night.
19-year-old was on an icy road when she went off a cliff into that river. Take a look at that. Water poured into the car, but she got out. She walked on the ice floating in the Minnesota River to get to the shore. A spokeswoman says the duo free climbing Yosemite's El Capitan are almost to the top.
They're basically on the side of 3 Empire State Buildings, holding on to things that are as big as a fingernail.
Kevin Jorgensen and Tommy Caldwell spent 7 years preparing after an 18-day journey from the bottom of the Sierra Nevada of California. And if all goes well, they should make it to the top in roughly the next 24 hours. In Maryland, an investigation continues this morning after a tragic plane crash takes the lives of 6 people in Gaithersburg. Investigators say a mother and her 2 young sons were killed after the wing of a twin-engine jet tore through their 2-story home just before 11 o'clock yesterday morning. Authorities say the mother, 36-year-old Marie Gemmel, was found lying on top of her 3-year-old and 1-month-old sons, apparently in an effort to shield them from the smoke and fire. A witness says she heard a strange noise from the plane and then watched it crash.
So when we rush over here, you see a plane hit the side of the house and it crashed right down there, and it just seemed like something, it was a big explosion. So it was like a boom, and by the time then, the flames were just so high, and then there was a big mushroom effect of smoke, and it just bust into flames.
Investigators continue their search for answers this morning about what caused that Montgomery County crash.